My name is Sean Thomas, and I'm the author of Be More Today, a 40-day guide to a better version of you. As doctor of physical therapy, I've seen thousands of people do great things. They came to me with ailments, physical ailments, pain, issues, and they got through them, all because they decided in their mind they were going to do it. And I guarantee you, if you just trust the process and be persistent, you too can be the best version of you. Have you ever been out and about with nowhere to stash your keys and ID so you can be hands-free? Whether you're running errands, traveling, or hitting the trail, Spy Belt is the belt that goes where you go. Made with stretchable fabric and a low-profile design, Spy Belt is your perfect companion to keep your essentials secure without bouncing or chafing. Choose from several prints and colors in the original, a wider band in the Pro versions, or the newest Spy Belt, Whiteout, an all-white belt that is perfect for summer. Visit www.spybelt.com to get your Spy Belt today. Run smart, run free, run with Spy Belt. Don't let aches and pains hold you back from living your life. At Jack Physical Therapy, our experienced clinicians create a personalized treatment plan that fit each and every patient's needs uniquely. Whether it's recovering from an injury or enhancing your performance, we've got you covered. With over 150 locations throughout New York, New Jersey, and Pennsylvania, there is sure to be a JAG Physical Therapy location near you. Visit jagpt.com and book an appointment today to get back to the life you love. That's jagpt.com, jagpt.com.
Welcome to the Be More Today show. Don't forget to like and subscribe to our show today. Now, let's hear it from our host, Dr. Sean Thomas.
What's going on, folks? Your boy again, Dr. Sean Thomas, back in the building with the Be More Today show. We are back in the building. And folks, we are here still in the summertime. Summertime. It's still here. It is winding down, though. It is definitely winding down, though, as we are now nearing the end of August into September. Summer is fading. And it's been a great one with us with Be More Today show, now here in our 6th season, doing so many great things, continuing to inspire others to be more in all regards. If you've ever been on my website, BeMoreToday.com, you already know. The More merch is out there. My book 1, Be More Today. Book 2, Project More, continues to be out there on Amazon and on our Be More Today page. So go out there and grab your book today. It has been motivating others to be more and to remind them that they are the best project they will ever work on. So continue to go out there and be a part of the movement. Our Step to Greatness Challenge will be signing up again for that challenge. September 1st opens up registration. The challenge begins October 1st. Last season, we had a number of people, 102 people actually, on the challenge, and they rocked out with us. They were amazing. But we are hoping to get more for this fall season, as we are trying to inspire others to be more today and getting their steps in. So continue to be a part of that process. If you want to, check out BeMoreToday.com for those things. And as always, follow the show on Instagram and on Facebook, BeMoreToday.show, BeMoreToday.pt, and your boy here, Dr. Sean Thomas. The show is now heard in 94 countries, over 74,000 downloads. And again, thanks for love and support. This show continues to grow. Our sponsors, Spy Belt, the best running belt in the world, I always say. Thank you for being a part of us. And of course, Jack Physical Therapy, for all your love and support. It never goes unnoticed, not once. Our monthly patrons, thank you so much for listening. I appreciate you as always. Our quote for today is simple. Sometimes life's greatest blessings comes disguised as second chances that challenge us to grow beyond our fears. Sometimes life's greatest blessings come disguised as second chances that challenge us to grow beyond our fears. This has been, for me, as always, a year filled with many, many things and many, many blessings. We'll talk a little bit about those during the show, but I was recently appointed as the director of clinical education at my alma mater, SUNY Downstate. Super excited about that. It's something that I wasn't looking to do, wasn't looking to get into. It just kind of happened. And I think it happened because I was doing so much community work with Downstate over the years and just giving back to them, pouring into their students, pouring into their other programs for high school and college students at Downstate. And the more I've been giving back over the years, I think the faculty and staff saw that, maybe this guy will be a great addition to our team to give back to our current students. And I had a small interview online when I was in California on Zoom, and the next day I had a job. So I feel like I'm Jamaican now because I have 1,000 jobs, but you know what? This is something that I really feel passionate about, and I love giving back and sharing the experience. And I see it as a second chance because I get to go back now to the school where I failed a class and to show students what not to do, how to be better, how to be excellent, how to be impactful. And having the experience of doing what I'm doing now my 14th year, 15th year really of clinical practice, um, being able to go back and show the talents, the skills, the gifts, the bedside manner, all those things to the new rising class. I'm super excited about that. So for me, it's a second chance and also a blessing in that regard. And I thought to myself, who could I bring on the show today to also talk about second chances, talk about the blessings that can come with second chances? And I thought back, went to my Rolodex. Yeah, I said Rolodex, looking at my people, and the name came to mind, Damar Bobb, season two, August of 2021. 4 years ago, I had a great guest on the show, Damar Bobb, who was just receiving his bachelor's of exercise science from Brooklyn College at the time and his master's in exercise physiology at the time. Was a strength and conditioning specialist, and he was doing so many things. I knew he'd be doing greater things from that show. So I reached out to him to see what was going on. And folks, he has a great story to tell us on the show today. So without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, pets included, please welcome back to the show my friend and the newest graduate from grad school, Damar Bobb. Damar, what is going on?
A lot is going on. A lot has been going on since season two. Life is pretty different. I also would like to touch on something. He has stated he is now feels Jamaican because he has so many jobs. It has always been this way. I think I don't I vividly remember constantly telling Sean, like, I don't know how you do all this much. Like, you are the busiest man I've ever met in my life. When I met Sean, he was teaching a Zumba class and then ran Spartan races and then had a Spartan group in his church. He was still a full-time PT, full-time dad, full-time husband. He wore 19 hats all at the same time, juggled them all, and knew exactly what time to put his hand out to catch the next one. It was amazing to see. So before he makes it seem like this is new, having a lot on his plate and like, oh my God, he's always done this. Sean has always been the hardest working person I've ever met. So just so you guys know that there's gonna be this is a long relationship, so I can pull stuff from out of the bag from way back. But new stuff going on now. I believe the last time I came, I either was just doing my master's or just starting it. And that was a really, really great experience. I went out to California. I lived out there for a time, did my master's, and I, like you, got the opportunity to teach. So I was doing my GA, and in my GA, I got to get an education, work in higher education and academia, and I really, really enjoyed it. And I was still coaching. I was strength coach at Santa Clara University in Santa Clara, California, which was also a really great experience. I got chances to work with. I was lead on men's tennis, assisted with program construction for cross country, and then assisted in everyday today coaching with men's and women's basketball, which was a really great experience. I got to spend my first year coaching was also Jalen Williams on the Oklahoma City Thunder, now NBA champion and NBA All Star, his freshman year. So that's another thing. Like, that was really cool to be there at the start and kind of get to see this young man turn him into like the star that he is. Um, and it was really cool just because like how humble he is. He comes across on TV as legitimately how humble he is in real life. Like, he just came and he did the work. Um, After I finished my master's, COVID happened. COVID came along and said, we're putting a kibosh on any and everything. And during that time, I was like, well, my intention was to stay in California and stay at Santa Clara and continue to coach. There had been talks about expanding my role. Um, I wanted to continue to teach and continue to coach. That was the plan. Uh, COVID sadly changed a lot of things. Both places got rid of their part-time staff, at which I was both part-time in both places. So that facilitated me coming back to New York. But in the summertime while I was still there, I'd had everyone ask me, "Well, are you going to do your PhD? Are you going to do your PhD?" In the last year of my time at San Jose State, to which I said resoundingly, "No, 0% chance. I'm never doing that. I don't want to do any more schooling. I'm done. That's silly. I'm not going to do it." So much so, like we have two routes that we can go where you do like a project or you can do a thesis. Most people were I want to continue on and do academia, do theses. I said, here's how strongly I know I'm not. I'm going to go do a project because I know I'm not going to go do a PhD. And then I was like, well, I'll just apply and we'll see what happens because it's COVID. Who knows what's going to happen? I applied, not really thinking much of it. I should mention Sean was one of my references and recommendations to get into my PhD program. And I got in. I got in. I got in. And then even after I got in, I still didn't think I was going to go. I took a year off. I deferred my enrollment and just spent 2 years back home trying to figure out what I was going to do next, trying to get jobs. There's lots of near misses with trying to get into the NBA. And I finally decided, like, okay, well, I'll go do this. Maybe this is the thing that I need, or the experience that I need to help me grow and take that next step. And boy, was it an experience. It was probably the most singular life-changing thing, life-changing, like dramatic time of my life, um, both personally, professionally, and academically. Number of reasons. Uh, but I think getting there kind of speaks to what it is that you spoke about, second chances, because of how I even ended up in this field. This is something I talked about the first time we were here, and something I will continue to talk about, like how you were a massive impact on me. Um, I don't know if we talked about it last time we were here, but I know Sean because I'm one of his patients. I've been a patient for a really, really long time. I was a patient at one of, I believe, first? Was that the first facility? The first, yeah. So we're maybe, I think you were like a year or two out of
Mm-hmm.
finishing PT school.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Um, and so I got to see from the beginning, like the metamorphosis into the practitioner that he is now. Um, and I remember I was working in PR before I ever did anything in sports. I worked in PR and I wasn't really liking it. I think you met me while I was still in college. I was super young. I think I was only like 19 or when we met. So I was still going through college. And so you got to see me trying to navigate the real world after I finished. And I just really had a hard time finding where I belonged. It was right after the recession. So I just was really struggling trying to like, and we both had always been lifelong athletes. We used to play basketball together and we used to talk about sports, Knicks, whatever the case may be. And at the time, I was helping a friend out with basketball training, and I was doing that, and I was taking all of the things that I learned through the time, whether it be from physical therapy, the coaches that I worked with, a lot of stuff that I learned from you. And I was working with this friend, helping athletes do stuff, and it was just fun. I didn't think anything of it. It was just something that I did for fun. I loved the game, and I just liked being around it and teaching. Like I didn't realize that then that like love for being an educator. Something I understand now, but that's what that was. And I remember a day. I think I was in. I think I was doing treatment. I don't know if this is when I ruptured. I think it was. I might have been after I ruptured my Achilles. I think yeah. I think it was. I think it was a little bit after my Achilles treatment, and I was kind of like, well, I just don't know what I'm going to do with myself now. We were having like a really in-depth conversation, and you were like, just do this. I was like, what's this? Go become a PT, go become a coach, go do something with the human body and in sports because clearly you really have a passion for it, you really like it, and you clearly have like a talent for it. Like you should just do this. And the idea had never occurred to me to ever do something like that until you said it. I didn't think that was like a path. And what started was like, well, I guess I'll start like with a bite-sized piece. I'll go get my personal training certificate, and that just kind of snowballed. Like became with the personal training. Then it was like I'll get my bachelor's, like just so I can be a little more knowledgeable. And then that became, well, I'll do my master's because I really like this stuff and I find it interesting and I still want to be more knowledgeable. And people at the level I want to be at seem to be getting that. And here we are. Here we are. It was a single snowball, maybe this big, an idea planted by you almost 10 years ago now that kind of turned into this. So yeah, I've now finished my PhD in sports physiology and performance. I previously, leaving my role as head strength and conditioning coach for women's basketball at ETSU. I also spent time there with women's soccer and men's tennis as their lead. I've worked in doing research, assisting in research, having my own research, working at laboratory, doing athlete monitoring, working with elite level athletes. It's been really cool, interesting journey so far, and it wouldn't have started had you not said that one thing 10 years ago.
Sir, I'm speechless. I'm happy. The crazy thing is, I remember our conversations. I remember you being patient. I remember all those things. And I remember you searching, and I remember you being like, yeah, we'll see how this thing goes. And just like that, 10 years later, PhD madness. I am super proud of you, bro. It is a
Thank you.
testament of hard work. It's a testament of diligence. It's also a testament of vision, which I mean, yes, sure. I was the one who was like, oh, try this. But all the work, all the hard work, all of the behind the scenes stuff, all the time and effort and training and diligence was really all you. So, kudos to you for doing that. And kudos for you for finding something that you like and making it what you wanted it to be. I think that's something that a lot of people struggle with nowadays. Even people who go to traditional routes of doctor, lawyer, whatever, right? They follow these routes and they get that degree and they're done. And then they say to themselves, "Ugh, but do I actually like doing this? Is this what I want to do?" I still feel like I'm not fulfilled. I still feel like I'm empty here. I've a number of people who are now in their whatever 10, 15th year of doing these things are saying, I don't know if this is what I want to do for the rest of my life. And it's fine. I don't think anyone has to do any job for the rest of their lives, but there should be some baseline excitement or joy that you find in doing what you're going to be doing every day for, the next 15, 20 years. And I feel like you found that. And I found that. We found that. And I think we're blessed to have the opportunity. So congrats to you, sir. Kudos to you. Well done.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you very much. And I agree, I also, from what you told me and what you've taught me, like it's never too late to like take an opportunity to find what that thing is. Because I remember my response to you when you told me to just go do it. I was like, well, I already did school and like that's gonna take so long. And you were like, well, you gotta live a life anyway. That's true. And then you also were like, I did it. And I remember thinking to myself, like, and I think my response to that was also then was just like, I'm not you, Sean. You're the most impressive person I know. And you're just like, no, I'm not. I just work. I wanted to do it. I tried. I worked hard and it happened. There's nothing I can do that you are not capable of, which at the time I didn't believe. I was just like, I don't know, Sean. You're really impressive. Um, and then I started the journey and it kind of, yeah, it just was putting one foot in front of the other,
Mm.
committing to it. And consistently you have been like not just a mentor, but like a kind of like a North Star where it's just like, okay, these things can happen. I can make these steps because it's always just like for every one achievement that I made, there was one that you were also doing parallel on the in your own journey that was kind of like, oh, that's a place I can go. That's a place I can get to. Um, and in my own journey, not exactly the same way, but like, it has consistently been like, oh, all right, here's another thing that I can do, and here's another hat I can wear, and here are different ways that I can be multifaceted in my life where like I have my passion through my work, but also my passion in my regular life. Um, and it's been really, really like probably one of the most most impactful relationships I've had, even when there has been time where like, we're living life, you're a busy guy. It's sometimes hard for us to always to connect. And I always enjoy this time when we get to because I feel like we get to catch up on so much. It's always good to even still see like whether it be like a LinkedIn post or like a random photo that I see somewhere that is just like, man, he's still going at it. And it gives me like the energy to try and do the same. Because I tell you, man, I when I started that PhD,
Mm,
I did not think I was going to be able to do it. It is
mm,
academically, probably, and not even just academically, emotionally, one of the hardest things. No, it is the hardest thing I ever did. The first year I was there, I had a really good friend, Sean, who we really connected just because we kind of had different ideas on some of the things that were being taught and different opinions. And I've always been, I mean, you can probably speak to this. Like, I've been a pretty independent thinker. Like, I have opinions and feelings, and not everyone agrees with them. And not because they're inflammatory. It's just I see the world sometimes from a different point of view.
mm,
Um, and I could see how like some of like my personal experience would be viewed very differently in this space just because like it's a program like I was the only black man there. I'm from New York and it's rural eastern Tennessee and a lot of the people who are coming to the school are from places not dissimilar from that. I think for many people who were in that program, they had never had as much direct contact with someone like me in their life until I was in that program. So there was a lot of like culturally navigating it. At first year, I really was like, I don't know that I made the right choice. Like, I don't know that this is for me in my first semester. Um, and then that first year, my brother took really ill. Um, and what was it? I think March. I came home. No, I came home in February or March to be with him because he was terminally ill.
mm,
Um, and he kind of was like, well, how long are you going to be home? Because it was my spring break. He's like, well, how long are you going to be home? I was like, well, I have this time and then I was going to go back, but I'm not sure. And what I didn't tell him at the time is I had already put in to take a leave of absence for the next academic school year. And I had already decided like I want to be home. I don't want to be at school. I'd rather be home and be here to help take care of him. You know, it was a rough time. Like my dad was doing the best that he could. My mom was still working. My dad's retired. My dad was doing the best that he could, but he was in over his head trying to be a caretaker for this person. And for me, like I just understood how certain things worked.
yeah.
So it was much easier for me to step into that role and help take care of my brother, help or I've always been a pretty organized person and a stealth starter. So it's easy for me to be like, we need to call this doctor, we need to go to this place, we need to do that. So I kind of just like came in and just like, I'm gonna do this stuff. I just need you guys to when I have something I need you guys to do, I just need you to do it just so
Hmm.
we can get this figured out. And that's kind of what happened. And I remember before I went back to school, he was like, well, are you going to finish? I was like, yeah, yeah. And, I just, at the time, again, I knew I was leaving. I knew I was leaving school. So, like, when I was telling him I wasn't lying, like, I am going to finish. I just don't know when I'm going to finish because I
Hmm.
have no intention of going back anytime soon.
Hmm.
And he was like, well, just promise me you finish.
Hmm.
You got to, like, I really want to see you finish.
Hmm.
And I said, okay, yeah, I will. I go back to school, and I was going back to school literally just to kind of close things up and be like, hey, Dr. Stone, who runs that program, I'm going to go home, yada, yada, yada. I just want to finish out these classes. Can I do the rest of the semester remotely? He took a little more ill before I could get a chance to do that. So I had to come back home. He sadly passed April 19th. Yeah, April 19th of that year. Um, but I had already deferred and everything. I had already decided I was going to defer, and we're supposed to be on fellowship. I had already foregoed my fellowship and pushed it to the next year. I didn't have a fellowship my first year. We all get it the second year forward. So I come back to school just to kind of after the passing, I come back to school to kind of get everything figured out. Um, and I knew like, okay, well, this is just going to be, I'm just going to finish out the semester and then I'm going to go home and work and just kind of, you know, recover, grieve, do all the stuff that you go through whenever you have a loss like that.
Hmm.
And Doc told me the same thing. He's like, well, whatever you do, you got to come back. You got to finish. Your brother will want you to finish. I'm like, yeah, 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 yeah. I I believe that. And so when I came back, I was like, well, is there any possibility of me getting a fellowship this for the coming year? Like I don't have to take the leave of absence that I thought I would need to take because of my brother being sick.
Hmm.
He's like, no, we don't have fellowships right now. And I was like, okay. Um, I left it at that. I left his office. And I didn't know this, but apparently the story is like 5 minutes after I left my office, he came running out into the hallway, like, "Where's Damar? Where's Damar?"
Hmm.
Uh, and everyone in the hallway was like, "He left. He went this way." It's just like he immediately sent me an email, "Come back to my office. Let's talk." And I came back the next day, and I don't know how he did it or where he found it. He's like, "We found the money. We can
Hmm.
get you back on a fellowship." Um, it's not a full fellowship. It covers all tuition. Your stipend won't be as big as everyone else, but it covers it. And I was like, okay, well, yeah, that's great. I'm not complaining. That's great. It's something that's better than nothing. And then I left, and then he sent another email later saying it's a full fellowship. We
Oh.
found the full, yeah. So it was full fellowship. And I remember even after I got the full fellowship, I still was like, I don't know, I don't know. And I was talking to my mother. I was just like, I don't know that I can do this, mom. Like, this is a lot. Like, emotionally, mentally, I'm not in a great space. Like, I just don't know that I can do this. And she was like, as soon as I was like, well, they got a full fellowship, she's like, that's the one. You got to finish. You promised them you would do it. You got to finish. She wants you to finish. You have to do it. And so I did. I did everything I could to finish, whatever the obstacles. And if you've ever done a dissertation, there are plenty of obstacles. It was down to the wire, and I did it. I somehow did it. I also forgot to mention around that time we in our program we did not work with basketball. Basketball is not one of the teams that my program worked with.
Hmm.
There just happened to be a confluence at a time where their GA was leaving and they needed a new strength coach. And my performance director built this relationship, built a bridge with the women's basketball program to say, hey, we have students that we can bring on. I think we have someone here who'd be a really good fit for you guys. That person was me. He brought me in and he was just like, I'm gonna have D be in charge, of what you guys do. And that started a relationship with women's basketball in my program. We had never done it before. So everything that we were gonna do going into that would be a first. And he was like, do you want this? And beforehand, I was like, I don't know. I don't know. And because I didn't know it would be with our school's D1 team. I just thought it would be like, we have another team that we work with.
Hmm.
I was like, I don't know that it's worth it. And he's like, no, it's going to be with women's ETSU. I haven't told anyone else. I wanted to tell you first because I knew you were the best fit. Like, if you say no, then I'll figure it out. But like, I'm not going to put anyone else in. He's like, until you tell me no,
Hmm.
I will hold the spot. And that was before my brother passed. This was when he was still sick, and I thought I was going to quit. So he held on to the spot for 2 months and told no one. And when I
Wow.
came back and said, yes, I'll do it, he was like, it's yours.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So talk about second chances.
I did not expect the show to be a testimonial, but it's exactly what it is. I mean, this is the amount of things that happened. First of all, sorry for your brother, clearly. And to be selfless enough to put family um ahead of your professional career is always admirable. And I am sorry to hear that he did pass. And I am happy to hear that even during that tragedy, there was such a blessing that was in store for you regardless. I mean, the fact that you said no fellowship, not as a fellowship, no funding, half funding, full funding, like almost in the same breath. I mean, the chances and likelihood of those things happening, I don't know who believes in God and doesn't, but I know I do, and that is a blessing beyond blessings that kind of happened in that regard for you. So much so that like you said, we're now in a place where you are the first to put together this program for this basketball team. And I'm just really impressed with all of that, D, and I feel like it's a testament to your hard work. It's a testament to the amount of time you put into this thing. And if you had any doubt ever, if you should be doing this, if this is the right thing for you, if this is the realm you should be in, if I don't know if I'm doing the right thing, if I'm on the right path, sir, these things just don't happen by circumstance. These things happen because you're on the right path. You're on the right journey. You are the right person at the right time for those things. So I am super excited and happy for you and your journey. And it sounds like we're calling you Professor or Doctor Deed now, right? That's what we're saying. Are you saying it's official? You are officially Doctor Bob? Is that what you're saying right now to me?
I am. Yeah, it's weird.
Sure.
Yeah, I'm Dr. Bob,
Sure.
Dr. Bob and Dr. Thomas.
The fact that that's even the conversation piece that's happening now is an amazing journey of what I think Be More Today really is about, right? You right now are embodying and have embodied what it really means to be more, to face your fears, to go against the grain, and to take a chance on you. And the question I have for you now is you mentioned being in an environment during this time where you were one of the onlys. We've talked on the show a number of times. I brought a number of healthcare professionals, sports enthusiasts, and even those who have been just in the graduate school realm about what it means to be a minority in a situation or environment where there aren't many of us. The number of African American or people of Black and Brown descent who have their doctorates, those numbers are always low. So, what was it like for you? I know it was like for me at Downstate, and we'll talk about that maybe a different show. But what was it like for you being in this environment, in this profession, as one of the onlys? Did you ever feel like you wanted to give up? Did you ever feel like you were answering questions for the entire Black and Brown community? Did you ever feel like you shouldn't be in those same rooms? Did you ever feel uncomfortable? Did you feel more empowered? What were your feelings during your time when you were in school being the only in the situation?
Yes, 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 yes to it all. Um, I think you hit the nail on the head. Like having your doctorate as a minority already puts you into a small group. I work in an industry where there already is. I uh, my original study in my master's program was going to be an eth- ethnographic look at diversity in sports performance and strength and conditioning because I thought it was super interesting that like in a 65% of all D1 athletes are minorities. And I think of that 63%, something like 43 to like 50% in high level D1 athletics are African American. Like we are a large group. Like minorities make up a large group of student athletes. And this is a real number that shocked me when I started researching 3%. 3% of sports performance coaches identify as a minority. It's about as homogenous as a group can get. And I thought that was crazy. Um, and as I've continued to learn and get educated, like I saw that play out. And it it does become a little exhausting because you feel like you stand as the representation for your entire race, for your entire group. Um, and particularly in my case, and I think you'll also be able to identify with this one. It's just like you're not only the first in this place, you're the first for your place. Like I'm the first in my family to get a doctorate. I'm the first in my family to get a master's. So, not only is this foreign to the people, it's foreign to you. I taught my mom how to do FAFSA while I was doing my undergrad because she had never like she's a brilliant woman and she's going through school herself, but it's like, she's like, I put myself through school when I first got to America as a grown woman. I don't know what it takes to put a young kid through school. Like I'm figuring out with you as you go through it. Um, so certainly there are plenty of times where I think ideas and notions that they may have about certain things that are appropriate and ways that they move through the world and talk to people that like my life experience informed me differently. It was just like I don't feel or think that. Like, even the idea there was a real big push um, when in the program that I'm in is like making sure that there are clear lines between you are the coach and that is the athlete, and not having these too personable of a relationship and all of these other things, to which I bristled against and I did not enjoy, and I just frankly I just didn't do, because I'm a believer that people want to know that you care before they care about what you know. And um, yeah, I like that's I'm knowledgeable and I know my field really well and I'm good
Hmm.
at it. Like I'm a good coach, but I like to lean more on the fact that I try to be a good person more than I'm a good coach. I think there are a lot of great coaches and a lot of great educators and a lot of great researchers out there that lean too much on the ability that they have and don't really speak to their own humanity. And it was really important for me to be able to do that because again, I'm in a field where there are not a lot of people who look like me, but engaging with a lot of people who do.
Hmm.
And
Yeah.
I can talk to these athletes and I can talk to these young people in a way that the average person that they deal with on their day-to-day basis cannot. Because everything that you are, I have been. Everywhere you were, I have been. Like, oh, you come from a family where you're the first ever to go to college because of your athletic ability. Well, I was the first one for my academic ability. Like I know exactly what you're going through. I know exactly how this feels. I can demand certain things of you that other people may not be able to, and I can also understand when you need to be comforted in a way that other people may
Hmm. Hmm.
not understand. And it is a level of connection that I think most people in my field are remiss for not having because it makes it much easier to do your job and to make a real impact. Um, I recently had an interview where they asked me like, well, how do you deal with athletes who, aren't motivated and they don't want to do a certain exercise or they're purposely, like literally in an interview, they told me like, what are you going to do if an athlete doesn't want to do a certain exercise and they'll make you modify it to something easier, because I know for a fact we're going to have girls who try. And I didn't have a great answer because I was like, one, I'll just we'll do something different, but the different thing is always going to be just as hard. Like that's one thing I've learned in life's journey. Like you can't, if what we're doing is a hard thing, there are no easy ways around it. Like there are different ways, but all the different ways will be hard. So just there's that one. And two, I've never really had to like super stress myself about motivating or getting athletes to buy in. Like it's a conversation I had with a friend who's a colleague as well. We work together. I was like, I've never really struggled with that. Honestly, like my players would run through a wall for me. So when I just ask them to do something, they just do it. And she's like,
Hmm.
yeah, they love you. Like they love you and you love them. Like when a relationship is built out of love and it's like, I'm doing what I do because I care about you and I'm deeply invested in you winning.
Hmm.
Like it matters to me
Hmm.
and not winning the game, like winning. I'm deeply invested in that. When I tell you to do something, there isn't this crazy back and forth. There isn't this I'm like this authority figure. Like I am that, but it's also like the same way like your mother is an authority figure, your uncle's an authority figure. Like they're telling you something because they care about you. Like, you'd be concerned when they don't say anything.
Hmm. Hmm.
I think that's the relationship that I was able to build that I don't think other people would think to do because of the backgrounds that they come from. Like they a lot of them can't build those relationships because they just can't make those bridges. Um, so it makes you feel like an alien sometimes,
Hmm.
but I think it's necessary. I think it's necessary to have more people who look like us and represent us in these spaces where we're normally not, because this is how we have uh, blind spots and holes in treatment, blind spots and holes in protocol, blind spots and holes in the way that we address things systemically.
Yeah, no, I agree. I definitely think it makes a difference. Same way in the classroom setting. You walk into a classroom, you see someone looks like you, there's an automatic connection, there's an automatic comfortability there, there's an automatic sense of self-worth, and even a sense of I can do this because I see someone who looks like me who's also doing this. Whether they're showing you what to do or telling you what to do, I think it's the same. And I think that's amazing, D, that like what you said, when you invest in people, they will run through a wall for you. So there's no need to get them to be excited or get motivated. They're already motivated because they know that you're motivated to get them to be better. And that's what the greats do. That's what great coaches do. That's what great teachers do. That's what great facilitators do. That's what great managers do. I mean, it's so funny. And we talked about this before. It's so funny how, and I truly believe this, the sports realm it parallels the life realm, right? The same lessons we learn in terms of training and putting in the work and facing adversity and overcoming hardships and working with people and the tedious regimes we have to go through to build strength and the time it takes to build strength. All those things are all life lessons for what we see in the real world. That there are no shortcuts. There are no handouts. You have to work with people that you don't like sometimes. You're not going to win every single battle. It's the same thing in life. And I think people who have a hard time uh, either as athletes or in that realm of training also have a hard time in life because those same lessons that you apply to yourself and you learn when it comes to the fitness aspect are the same lessons you go through in the reality aspect of life. So you're teaching people, like you say, you're teaching them about the game on the field, but so much of that applies to the game off the field as well. And who better a person at this juncture in life to be that coach for others than Dr. D. I think it's really a blessing that they get a chance to have you, man, and to
Thank you.
be able to learn from your tutelage. And I'm just happy about the growth that I've seen, not just in the last 10 years, but even in the last 5 years since you were on the show last time. There's such a greater sense of calm and confidence in what you're doing and are going to do that it's inspiring. It really is inspiring. So
Thank you. Um, it's been, I've had a good example. I've had a really good role model to follow in that. Speaking to what you said, it's like just seeing someone like you do those things, like that was, yeah, I can speak directly to how impactful it is because I have one. His name is Sean Thomas. I got to see him do stuff, and it was like, okay, yeah, I think I I think I can do that. Maybe not exactly that, but I can do my own version of that. Um, and it kind of also like speaking to that the main thing that we are like speaking the idea of like second chances is like if you think this thing isn't your calling, like find what is and follow it, like just earnestly follow it. Like that's really the most the biggest thing I could say to anyone who is in this space where it's just like I'm looking for a second chance, I'm looking for this thing, I'm looking to find what my next chapter in life will be. Is just like just follow your calling, follow your heart. Like I just stuck with what served me and what gave I felt like gave me purpose. Um, yeah, it comes up when I'm asked in whether professionally in an interview or by other coaches who now I get to mentor, which is crazy. I literally did a letter of recommendation for someone who's going into a master's program. There are people coming up to me and they're like, "Can you help me with this?" Like I have a former student who we have a really close relationship, and it's kind of weird how like the 180 or the 360 really, like life is a circle. Like I was mentored by like a great person that did things in places that I wanted to be, and like I now oddly enough, like I don't think of it like that way, like I'm that, but like I am now that for other people. Like other young Black men are coming to me and asking me for guidance because they're like, I want to do what you're doing. And it's like I'm not even where I want to be yet, and it's just like, yeah, but like you're still where I want to be though.
yeah,
It's like, damn, I get why Sean feels the way he feels now.
yeah.
Like you still feel like you have so much to do. um but it just comes with like finding your purpose, finding your calling, and following it. And that's what I've done. Like, and I did it because I watched other people do the same thing. They just did what they felt like what their calling was. And, I think that's, if there's any advice I could give to anyone about that, it's just like when it speaks to you, listen. I could have ignored you. I could have ignored you and I could have just been like, no. And I could have stuck on the path that like was not serving me.
Mm,
Um, but I listened. I was in a space where I could hear it. I could take it in, and I tried. And I also understood like, I might fail. And if you're looking for that second calling, that second chapter, like knowing like, hey, there's gonna be bumps and bruises and I'm gonna fail, and but like those failures aren't bad. Like they help make your tapestry even better, and they make you more prepared for the time when you get there. Like
Mm-hmm.
it's something that same colleague, the athletic trainer, we became very good friends at ETSU. And the number of times something would come up and I was like, oh yeah, well, I used to be a bouncer. Or I used to do this, or I had this thing. And again, Sean knows like I make fun of him for having 1,000 different lives. And like again, I am his mini me in that way where I've had 1,000 different um, and she's like, you've literally done everything. And it's just like, yeah, I just had a point in my life where I wasn't saying no to stuff because I was trying to figure out what it is that I wanted to do. So I just said, yeah, to all of it. I'll try. And I was okay with failing and being bad, learning from that failure and growing on it. And all of those failures literally are the foundation of what I'm doing now. Like every
Mm-hmm.
success that I have is because I had a lot of failures to figure out
Mm-hmm.
the formula. So
Yeah,
yeah.
that's dope. So Dr. D, what's next? The school stuff is done. Now it's time to
Mhm.
get to work. So what's next for you on the docket?
Uh, well, interviews, interviews, interviews. My hope is to get back into athletics. I would like to continue coaching. If I could find a director role, like director of sports performance, director of basketball performance, if I could get the same basketball in some way, shape, or form, that would be great. Um, but we'll see. We'll see where life takes us and what opportunities come up. I'm also not opposed to like I've also been pondering maybe getting back into education. I really enjoyed my time teaching, and I felt like I made an impact. And I would like to certainly, if not now, certainly sometime in the future, do that as well. So again, following in your footsteps. Um, but I think right now is like finding a place that I can call home as a team, kind of laying roots and really build something. Like I felt like I got to build something at ETSU, but like it was only 2 years. It was a great 2 years, and we had success. Um, and I think the foundation that I laid was really good. And I think anyone coming in behind me has like a pretty well laid foundation for what they can build upon. But like I'd like to be able to lay a foundation and now build upon that myself. So my hope is in the next place that I get to do that. There is somewhere we are in talks. Uh, I don't want to state it now because I don't want to jinx myself, but we are in talks, hopefully getting to talk with a head coach soon that will keep me in the New York area. Um, and it is pretty much exactly like it. If it's if it is exactly what I hope it is on paper a perfect fit. So I'm very hopeful about that.
Awesome. Awesome. Well, super excited about that. Any final tips you want to share with the listeners about the journey, about um anything we shared today? Any final tips you want to share with the listeners?
Uh, yeah, bet on yourself. Don't be afraid to take a bet on yourself. That has been my motto for the last 10 years. Where I've just decided, again, from a little snowball started by a friend who you guys might be familiar with here. Um, take a bet on yourself. Like if you don't bet on you, no one else will.
Mm-hmm.
And I've been able to do and get to where I'm at with lots of support, lots of help, lots of guidance. But it started with me taking a gamble on myself. And you'd be surprised how many people are willing to take that gamble on you too.
Mm. Well said, sir. Well said. Listen, I am honored to have you back on the show. It is again great to see the journey. It is exactly what Be More Today is all about. Putting in work, setting your goals, taking yourself to greatness is all the things, bro. It's all the things. And it's just super excited to see you now in this space, thriving, excited, and ready for the next thing. I'm just again, as a friend and now as colleague, I am super impressed by you, and I'm looking forward to hearing what's next for Dr. Bob. It's really exciting to hear it. So kudos to you, sir, and congratulations.
Thank you so much. It's been a pleasure as always. I love whenever we get to connect. And yeah, it's you've been teaching me Be More Today before it was Be More Today.
Mm.
So um yeah, it's really amazing also to see the growth, to see how far it's come, to see what you've turned it into, and to see the impact that you're having on other people now as well. Um, I thought I was really lucky to have you as a mentor, and now everyone gets to see how amazing you are in the way that I got to see it, and that's super great. I love that.
So, you know, what's funny is it's just as we close out, it's interesting. You said Be More Today before Be More Today was because it's true. We did a number of things. You know, when you were 19 years old, but it
Mhm.
was all the same stuff that Be More Today really is now. Just like setting goals and being proactive and being positive and surrounding yourself with positive people who are trying to do what you want to do. And you know, it's great to see that good people attract good people. And that's how the show has been for the last 6 years, just bringing on people who are doing great things in the community and the world, and inspiring others. You never know who's going to hear this and now be inspired to go out there and do exactly what you did or what I did, you know, just based on your show. And like you said, because I did it, you did it. Because you did it, someone else is gonna do it. And yeah, like you said, the full circle moment is now that you're writing recommendations for those people. That's really that's the beauty part. That's the beautiful part of it. That's the glory, the cherry on top. That now you see everything that was given to you, you're giving to others, and you already know the satisfaction that comes with that is it's unbelievable. So it's just the beginning, bro. It's just the
I
beginning. So looking forward to that with you. And I have to have you back once you're actually up and running to see what's next up for you and what teams are blessed to have you as part of their team. So until then, I salute you and I wish you all the best.
Thank you so much, brother.
And folks, he said so many poignant things. I mean, today's show was a great one with the quote again, sometimes life's greatest blessings come disguised as second chances that challenge us to grow beyond our fears. He's done that. He's done that beyond all the fears and all the noise. He's gotten so many blessings as a result, and he's about to go out there and share those blessings with the rest of the world. So, if you're in that same boat, right? Maybe you're someone who has been on the fence about what they're doing. Maybe you're finding that the work you're doing now is lackluster. You don't have the motivation you're looking for. You want to give more back to community. You want to change your life up. Not saying you have to leave your job. Not saying you got to start all over like we did, but it might be a chance for you to say, you know what? Let me just take a bet on me. Like Damar said, take a bet on you, bet on yourself. Go out there and see what's up. Try something new, try something different. What's your heart really telling you? Are you really being fulfilled? We already know life is short and precious, especially nowadays. So, Be More Today is about a movement. It's about you going out there and doing more to be the best version of yourself and you being the best project you could ever work on. So, why not take a bet on yourself, like Dr. D said, and go out there and be more for yourself? I challenge you this week to do that in some capacity, whether it's a big capacity, like a big school change, or a job change, or just maybe even starting a platform, like your own platform, to go out there and push your mantra, push your mission, your message out there into the rest of the world. You can do it. That's my charge for you today. And folks, we'll see you next time on the next episode for more things Be More Today related. Until then, have a good day, have a good night, have a great life, and continue to take your steps to greatness to be the best version of you. We'll see you next time. Peace.